You did share some places where outreach can happen, like LinkedIn, like
Yes.
cold calling, emails, messages. Can you share some examples of within these outreach areas
Sure.
itself that have proven to be resonating with the target audience, right? As a salesperson, as
Mhm.
someone who has managed SDRs as well, what have you seen is the most effective in all of those segments that you mentioned?
Yeah, I think it's very there's a regional dependency on that,
Yeah,
right? Location. Look, I would
and
say
I see.
location.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
see
So
as well.
basically, if you look at India, right,
Hmm.
actually just pick your phone up and call people, right? And you'll get a really good conversation rate as well. You can talk, people pick up phone in India. And there's a, of course, I think if you're good at your cold calls, you'll be able to book demos. Booking a demo is not the challenge in India. Okay. It's
Hmm.
closing. In US, it's opposite, right? In US, you'll have, because they're so finicky about their privacy, that
Yeah.
if you call them on their private number, they would go mad about it, right? That's why
Right.
sometimes for a lot of people, emails and voicemails and voice notes
Hmm.
on LinkedIn work for people, because you're not barging into someone's private space, or that's how it's considered, right? You have to figure out where you're selling. Singapore is also very similar to US, but again, they get the point. Indonesia is very similar to India, right? But it's in the tech space perspective, right? They're friendly people, but at the same time, they need to have that vote of confidence. So you have to actually go and meet them. So your
Hmm.
physical presence helps a lot. So I
Right.
think from an outreach perspective, you have to figure out where you're selling, right? What really works. For Asia Pacific, you can be big on calls, right? People do talk. And again, like you can figure out two of your best, say, channels, what works.
Hmm.
Every SDR would have, and every AE would have a different thing that works for them, what they're good at. Let's say I'm very good at cold calls, right? Someone might be really good at emails. So I think it drops down. There is no magic bullet for what works for everyone. You have to try it out and test it out enough to
Hmm.
know that this works for me, and then you double down on that. That's why it's so important to go back every week of what you did and look at your
Right.
numbers. So as an AE, I think this was a great practice that used to happen in my ex company. We do it here as well. You have call listening sessions. Okay.
Hmm.
uh, During these call listening sessions, everyone comes along. Everyone sits, everyone, SDRs, AEs, ADs, whoever you are, even the VP will sit down and we'll play either a demo or a certain number of calls, right? It's radical candor. You are not going to get criticized, but you get feedback. Okay. It's a very structured feedback. This helps you know what you did wrong, and then you have different perspectives. And then you also, let's say you're an AE, and I see Priyanka's demo. I can pick things up from Priyanka's demo as well, which you are doing good in your demos. You might pick something that I might be doing. My opener might be really good, right? So that's why you have to set up processes for your sales teams, which really helps the team all across. And then eventually individuals have their own way to go about it. How do they approach channels and their outreach? So I think
Got
regional, and then individuality, and then the team learning perspective, three things to take care
Hmm.
of outreach.